Hey, what's up? Welcome to the She Talk Systems channel, and we are talking about the benefits of using Dubsado. The fact that you have clicked on this video tells me that you are curious on how Dubsado can really benefit your creative agency. And I want to break down what those benefits actually are. I get questions all of the time asking how it can support the business. I see clients who are struggling to get their client experience on point and really how they can bring that into a tool. So if you and your team find that it's all too often that clients are getting lost in different stages of the client journey, whether that's new inquiries, whether that's people trying to be onboarded with you, even just communications with clients who are already on board in your business, and it's starting to affect that client experience, this video should hopefully answer your questions, help you to understand exactly how you can benefit from Dubsado's features, how it can really help you to deliver that client experience that you are really aiming to deliver for your business. If you're new here, my name is Nicola Melinda. I am a systems consultant. I've been helping clients get set up in Dubsado for the last 5 years. That means streamlining every part of their client process through from collecting leads to onboarding, offboarding, and more. So trust me when I say you are in safe hands when I go through these points in the video today. And if you do have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Now, something we know every service provider needs as a fundamental basis, we all need a way to capture our new leads, to onboard our clients, and then to manage those clients in the back end as they are working with us. And this is regardless of whether you work with clients strictly on projects or whether you work with clients on retainer or a combination of both. You still need to have a system in place that will help you to be able to manage all of these different moving components, because let's face it, there are a lot. Agencies are a different beast in their own right, as I'm sure you're well aware. You have multiple clients that you're working with. You have multiple projects that you're taking on board. You have multiple touch points that you need to stay on top of. So you cannot afford for clients' communications to fall through the cracks or an invoice to not get paid. You cannot afford for onboarding to go wrong. You need that level of consistency and you need to maintain that level of client experience, because this is your business. This is how you make money. While this system is not a magic pill, it doesn't solve every problem that is going on behind the scenes, and it's also not going to have you working hands-free. It can drastically reduce the amount of time that you are spending hands-on on client admin. It's going to reduce the amount of questions that your clients may have and be asking your team. And it's also going to eliminate any embarrassment. So if you have sent out late invoices, incorrect invoices, or you're duplicating communications, which can be so embarrassing, it's definitely going to help you to stay on top of the fundamental elements of your client experience. The key is that you're setting up your Dubsado with intention. And so that means that either a team member, whether that's your ops person or a virtual assistant, they can operate that system, they can manage that system for you, but you have everything in place to help you support your clients and ensure that your clients are looked after as best as possible. So let's go into Dubsado and do that overview in terms of what Dubsado is all about. So I'm going to log into my demo brand here and just give you the walkthrough of what this is all about. So as a whole, Dubsado's purpose for your business is all about managing the client-facing needs for the business. So that means that every time you send an email or you need to onboard your clients or you want to book a discovery call, send a contract or proposal, Dubsado is the system that allows you to manage all of that. So it's very much front facing. All of the admin that you will send to your clients is what you create inside of Dubsado. You have an area here where we will call the templates area, and you have your scheduler, you have your forms, you'll have the area to place your emails, which canned email templates, your packages, which are pretty much your services, and then the workflows, which is where the automations happen. Payment plans are also where you can set up automated payment plans for your invoices, which is perfect for projects or even long-term retainers as well. So at a whole, you're able to bring in all of the assets that you need to create to manage your client experience and manage those key client processes inside of Dubsado. What you also have is the ability to manage all of your clients in one area. So in Dubsado, this is what they will call projects. So you have your clients who are the contacts and the individuals or the businesses that you'll be working with, but every time that they are working with you, they work with you on a new project. So in this project area that we're looking at right now, this is where you will see any new inquiries that come through. They come through as a new project, and that project is essentially what will move through this pipeline. So at the top, I have a difference between leads and jobs, and that project will move through the different stages. And these are stages that I've created as part of my process. So when I have a new inquiry, they sit inside of this bucket. When they book a call, they sit inside this bucket. When they get onboarded, they can sit inside of the retainer or the service bucket that has been created for them. So Dubsado is going to capture your clients and capture the projects that potentially they could be working with you on. It's also going to help you create the template, so for you to communicate, book calls, send out forms, capture information, and it's also going to allow you to store that information, because every person that fills out a lead capture form in Dubsado, every new inquiry, they have a space. So this is now what we're looking at is the project card. They have this area, and so every interaction is stored and documented in this exact area. So you'll be able to see any emails that have been sent to them, any forms, invoices, appointments, all of the things will sit within this area. Now, what I also love about Dubsado, and this is another reason why I recommend it for agency teams, is because you can also bring your team into the platform to work with you. And this is how you can do it. You can bring your ops person or your VA into Dubsado, and if we go back to the screen, we can see that we've got the option to bring in multi-users. Now, you do need to be on a paid account to do this. You can't just invite someone on a free account. However, once you're on a paid account, you can onboard 3 users basically for free. So you've got your basic team members, and they only have access to the jobs or the projects that they've been assigned to. Then you've got your accountant. So if your accountant works with you and you want to bring them in, you can do that. In this example, my recommendation is to bring in your ops person as an admin. An admin means that they can access everything within the brand. That means that they can access the projects, they can see contracts, they can see forms, they can see your templates, they can see everything pretty much about the business, but they can manage it for you. This is a win. So if you're a busy agency, you're continuously onboarding new clients, you always have moving pieces, this is what you will need to do, is to bring them in as an admin, so then that person can manage this for you. You'll also see below the visibility that they have within the system. So they'll have visibility over contracts, invoices, and templates. So I highly recommend making sure they have the necessary visibility that they need so that they can actually do the job that you've brought them on board to do. So another reason why I recommend Dubsado to agencies is because you can centralize the communications. Now, as an agency, I will assume that you have multiple email addresses, or even one central info @ hello @ contact @ email address. Now in Dubsado, what you can do is you can use that email address as the centralized area for client communications. So it no longer has to sit within your inbox or another team member's inbox. You can centralize it. So we're inside of the settings within Dubsado, and you'll be able to see here that we've got brand specific settings, which means that you can upload your logo, you can say the name, who owns the account. You can also add in your own brand color, like your primary brand color. But here below, you can add in your business email and your business phone number if you have that as well. Now, this is great because you can choose how that email sends. Does it send from the business? Does it send from a name? If it's your ops person, you can add their name in there. But if it's from the business, you can add in the business name as well. So it means that you can really centralize and make your communications much more professional. So anything that's going out to the clients, it could send from Systems House, and it will send through Systems House email. So we can just put in there the Systems House email, and then it will send. What you do also need to make sure is that you have your email account connected into Dubsado as well. So you want to make sure that this is correct. So if I was to remove my test email account, which is currently connected, and quickly sign in with my Systems House account, and then it will connect this account to my Dubsado. So now you will see that you've got your email connected, and you can be assured that the emails that send out from Dubsado will send from your business, it will send from the central account, so it takes you out of the mix. And again, your ops person can be the person to actually manage that part of the communications. Obviously, as an agency owner, managing inquiries is crucial, making sure that they are being responded to, that questions are being answered. All of those things are super important. So again, when you're using Dubsado to manage your inquiries, they have what they call the lead capture form. So if I pull up one of my own contact forms, this is my lead capture form, and in the settings of this form, what we can do is we can actually assign this to any leads that fill out this form. We can assign it to our team members. So we can assign it either to the team or we can assign it to the individual. So that means that every time a new lead comes through, that individual is responsible for managing that new inquiry. What's also really helpful is that you can use this form to track your referrals as well. And so again, another sales tool that is so helpful inside of Dubsado is understanding where your leads are coming from, where your referrals are coming from. And the best way to do this is literally to have a question in place where you ask, how did they hear about you? So this is my question, how did you hear about us? And if I click on it, it's got all of the different options of how they found out about my business, my consultancy, the agency, whatever you want to categorize it as. Now, this is called a project tracking question. You can only add this question once on your forms, but the project tracking question actually links back to another area inside of Dubsado. If we click on reporting and project sources, it will pull up all of the projects that are coming through, and you're able to see exactly where your projects are coming from, whether that is through your Instagram, whether that is through Google, whether that's through Facebook or YouTube. You will be able to track where your sources are coming from. So if there are other areas that you collect your leads from, you can add those in. You can simply add a source, and it could be, let's add threads as a new one, add that on, and you save that in the list. Then you would have to go back into the form and add threads on as an option. But what you can do is look at your project breakdown. It will share with you how many inquiries have come through, and it will also tell you the sources of where those projects have come from. Whether that's all through YouTube or if it's a variety of sources, you'll be able to see that data, which is going to help you to make better marketing decisions, to know exactly where you need to focus your marketing efforts. So coming back into the project dashboard area, you can see here that this is where all of your leads that come into Dubsado, they will all be sat in this section. And what is great with this section is that you can customize what you see. So you have the option to customize how you see your leads. So if I click on that customize box, I've got the option to update different statuses. So for example, I could delete statuses that are not necessary. I could have different statuses. I can change the statuses. So we could say we've sent a contract and proposal. We can also update the jobs as well. And so this is how you can manage the pipeline for your leads as they're coming into Dubsado. So you can actually see what stages they're all at and who you need to follow up with or who you need to archive or close down. Then you've got various columns in this section as well. So again, you can see if there's a project date, invoices, contracts, or the company. And to edit the columns, all you have to do is just click on edit column and then just select what you prefer to see versus what you don't need to see. So you may not need to see the project date or maybe invoices, but maybe these are details that are important. Perhaps you want to see when it was created, or project source, which is what you can see where the clients are coming from. You can choose to add that on as well. If there's a team that is assigned to that particular lead, you can have that in as well. And then you can adjust the views, how you want to see your leads. And then you also have the option to add in tags. So this could be tags that you're applying to the particular project. And again, it will come down to whether you apply tags based on your team. So it could be marketing, or it could be the type of service. It could be whether they're a recurring client. How you want to manage your tags and organize your tags will come down to what works and what you need to see in your own business. The next area is having a place to manage your ongoing client communications. And again, this is where Dubsado comes in for the win. Now, whilst Dubsado will help you to manage communications that go through workflows, so responding to inquiries or sending out proposals, these are standard templates that you can absolutely create and apply to your workflows. But what you also will have in place are perhaps standalone email templates that might be for various parts of the year, whether that's when you are perhaps closing for public holidays, or you're sending out emails on a monthly basis to clients. I'm talking about the standalone one-off emails that you want to be able to send out, but you also need to have them stored somewhere. You can store them in Dubsado as canned emails, and your team can then access those emails whenever they need. So if there are various communications that you do need to send out, then have those emails stored in this area, in the canned email section, so that it makes it easier for your team to go in and apply those canned emails to your clients and send them out. Now, this isn't for mass mailing. This is more for the one-off emails that you need to send out to clients. So if perhaps you're going to be closed because you're doing team building, or you know that public holidays are coming up, or a member of the team that is working on a particular part of the project is out of office for any reason, have those communications ready to go and inside of Dubsado, and you could just pull them up and send them out to client whenever you need. Now, I have to share with you the number one reason why agencies can really benefit from using Dubsado, and that is all about the onboarding process. So if your onboarding for clients has been a little bit sticky, or perhaps your proposal process feels so long-winded, this again is where Dubsado comes in for the win, because now you can actually template out your entire process, systemize it using the workflows, and this process can save you hours. So no longer do you have to worry about recreating, reinventing the wheel. Instead, you have a system that can do it for you. So let's go back into Dubsado. So here's an example of one of my proposals that you can see on screen. It has everything about the offer, everything about the pricing, the packages, all that the client needs to know to make a decision. And attached to this proposal, inside of the settings, we actually have our client agreement, and we also have a payment plan attached to this. So what it means is that when the client is sent this proposal, they will be able to select their package, they will be able to complete their contract, and they will have an automatic payment plan attached to this proposal. So the payment plan allows the client to pay a deposit, or it means that they will just be able to pay in full. Now, what I love about this option in the proposals is that, first of all, this is a template. So I can go into a client project and I can actually pull up whatever template it is that I want to pull up. So I can do this through the workflows. I can go ahead and apply the onboarding workflow that I want to apply. Now this will have all of the actions that I need, including the proposal already attached. So remember, the template is already applied to this workflow. And now you can see all of the forms are attached, which means that I can literally edit this proposal. If I have discussed with the client something a little bit more bespoke, I can go in and I can edit this proposal to match that client's requirements. So I'm no longer having to edit my original templates. Instead, I can make this proposal even more personalized for this specific client. And I can do exactly the same with the contract as well, because the contract is also attached to the project. So I can update the proposal, update the contract, and then when I'm ready, I can literally send this out using the workflows. I can hit approve and it will send this straight out to my new prospect. And this is the beauty about managing client onboarding through Dubsado. Once you've got all of this in place, it is so much easier for you to set the system up and let it do its thing. And when you do need to come into a bit more hands-on management, it's a lot easier to do that because you already have the templates in place, you already have the workflows in place, you know the process, and so you can just apply the updates that you need to apply as needed. I will do a separate video as well to walk you through how to use the workflows in Dubsado, and also just to understand a little bit more about how the projects can work in Dubsado, especially if you have one client with multiple projects. That can definitely get a little bit confusing in terms of how do you navigate that. Make sure you subscribe so you do get a notification of when that video comes out. The next area that is also troublesome for agencies, and I would recommend managing this in Dubsado, is the payments. Managing client invoicing, staying on top of payment plans, that can be a lot when you've got multiple clients and projects that you are navigating. So in terms of setting this up, when you're inside of your client projects, you have a section for invoices. So in this case, a payment plan's already applied to the client project, but I can also come inside of this area and I can edit my payment plan as well. So if we're working with a different price point, I can actually come in here and make updates to the payment plan itself. So I can say that we need to have a different size deposit, perhaps it's a bit bigger. The client has agreed to pay a little bit more, so it's now 1,000. So we know the price of the service is down to the package that is applied to the proposal. So the package itself is £2,500. So we've updated the deposit, and that will reflect automatically on the proposal. So I don't need to go back into the form and update it. The price and the payment plan will automatically be updated for me. I can also make any updates to this invoice, to this package. And if I click on the invoice list, it will show me the invoices that are attached to this particular client. So if, for example, this client was actually going to be on a payment plan every month, monthly retainer that they're paying, I could set up a recurring invoice for this client. Now this would need to be done after the fact that they have paid. So the invoice that you would have attached to the proposal would be the first month's payment or deposit. And then you'll come in here and you will set up the recurring payment. But this again, it means that your clients are going to be receiving their invoices on time exactly as they need. So we can say how often we want this to send out, whether it's once a month, once a week, once a year, and send every 1 month, every 2 weeks, every 3 months, however you do that payment cycle. Now, just to note, whatever the date that it starts on is the date that this invoice will send. So you want it to send out on the due date that it's due, right? And if you do have an end date, put that in. If you don't have an end date, just leave it as blank. Next, you want to add in the packages, so whatever that might look like. So let's just add in one of my old retainer packages here, and we can add that in. You can see how much that would cost. If there are any additional notes or line items, so if you've added anything additional to this particular invoice, add that in. Then you can set up a payment plan. So you can create a new payment plan, or you can add an existing payment plan, which is completely down to you. An existing payment plan may have the amounts already in place. So in this case, it's taken the full price of the project and it's split it down. I don't want it to do that, so I'm going to remove this payment plan, and instead I'll do an installment. It's one installment, it's all due. However, I can add in my automated reminders here. So I can say I'm going to send a reminder 5 days before it's due, and then I can send a first payment reminder. That's my canned email that's in place, and then I can just apply that reminder email. I might also send one that is a little bit late, so maybe 5 days after due date, and again I've got my email in place that says it's late, and that will send out a late payment email. So all of this is automated. And again, as an agency owner, you don't have the time to be chasing up on late payments or even keeping track. So set this up so that the system can do it for you. Your team can ensure the system is all on track, payments are being captured. If there are any updates that need to be made to retainers or payments or invoices, you can do it all right here inside of the client project itself. And that just goes to show all of the information to do with your clients sits within this particular project. So if you are tracking email communications, forms, you're trying to capture information, everything can sit within this project. Even booking project calls with your clients, you can do all of that inside of this area. It is so helpful. And when it comes to running an agency, this is all about doing things at scale, right? So you need a system that can help you and support you to do that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I cannot wait to bring out more content like this for you. Drop a like, make sure you hit subscribe if you have enjoyed today's video. Check out the links in the description. I will share how you can connect with me to work with me if you're interested in any of my services. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.